Excuse me. Good morning, everybody. If you are looking for a place to find out what's in your way today, how you can get around that thing that is in your way, and how you can be more mindful during the process, you've come to the right place. Welcome. My name is Seth. I run Comingouttarot.com. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't been here before, welcome, and thanks for watching this on the replay. Excuse me. Our effort today is to ensure that you know what's coming your way, what you can do about it, and what the lesson is that you're learning so you can be more mindful about how you approach these same kind of things in the future. I'm going to work on getting these cards in the right order. If you haven't already, good morning, and thank you for that thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, do subscribe so we can keep track of each other. And I always appreciate that thumbs up because not only does it let me know that the content's useful for you, hey Ash, good morning, but it gets it in front of other people who could use this content as well. It's almost a full moon, it's almost Thanksgiving. Good morning, Geneva. How was your trip home? Easy breezy? All right, it's going to be an interesting day because it's kind of weird though on that end. What do you mean? What happened? One of our actions is now one of our obstacles, or our mindfulness is now our obstacle. Oh, sorry about it. Sorry about it. I hope there's only one. My mom had twins, me being one of them. So it wasn't puberty? I'm just imagining someone having a parent going through puberty. I was like, Uber. Got it. Uber, puberty, Bruce, like, come here. Bruce is he thought my foot was Monty. Go get Monty. All right, let's talk about this obstacle action and mindfulness. Between your puberty Uber and Bruce, I was like, what's going on? We needed to delay a minute. So our obstacle today is the Ace of Swords. Our action today is the Magician. So it's interesting, we've got two very active things going on here. And our mindfulness card for today is steeped in our action that we can do right now, which is the Seven of Stones. So first off, obstacle, there's new stuff coming you got to deal with. There is, Spirit just ran by with a ball in his mouth. It's got to be stored. There's new stuff coming you got to deal with. This is probably new concepts. Somebody might be introducing giving you something to think about that you hadn't thought about before. And you're like, oh yeah, what do I do about that? Kind of like being introduced to a new set of politics or a new concept at work that is a new strategy, for example. But it would take it further from new strategy into how do we actually it would stick in strategy. If we had a wand there, it'd be about how are we going to put it into practice and start to move it forward. But this is more about that strategy, thinking through how something would work, what we want to accomplish. So introduction of new thought is coming your way today. And that's a challenge. Why is it a challenge? Because it's disruptive. These new things are always disruptive. Whether they're positive or negative, which is subjective, they always throw us for a loop for a minute. And you're like, oh, how do I deal with that? So new stuff is a little bit of a challenge today. And it is going to be, because we've got these double ones here between this and the Magician, probably going to be something that affects you a little bit on the inside. Where you're like, oh, how do I feel about that? And at the same time, you're gonna be ready to like get going and get started, because this Magician is a couple things going on with Magician. Magician, if you'll notice, is also represented by Mercury. We're currently in Mercury retrograde, so all the things that Mercury would normally want to do, communicate quickly, travel, get some things done, move some things forward, is all not working the way Mercury really wants to work. So communication kind of sucks. Travel probably sucks. Speaking of puberty Ubers, getting things done quickly probably sucks. So one of the things that I saw from, if you've ever followed the Tarot Lady, she's also a wonderful astrologer, and she was saying during this time, some of the best things that you can do, or one of the best things you can do, is like get real specific about your lists of things that you need to get done so that you don't miss a beat, but you're counteracting the retrograde of Mercury. So that is actually a great action to do with the Magician and Mercury here during a Mercury retrograde. It's just reinforcing all of that Mercury tendency of taking some action to write it down. So do write it down. So when this obstacle gets in front of you, this new strategy, this new thing, and you feel it internalize, you're like, crap, now what do I do? But I kind of like it, or I really, really hate it. Whatever it is, however you feel about it, write down what it is you got to do next so you're ready and prepared, because you're probably not going to talk about how you feel the right way. You're probably going to forget what you need to tell other people to do during this time, or at least maybe not tell them in the right way. So write it down so it's clear, it's understood, and you've been thoughtful about what's happening so that action happens in the way you want it. That way you can also feel good about how you're handling it. Now, how can you be more mindful during that process? With this 7 of Stones sitting here, 7 of Stones for me is it's one of those cards that leans for me towards frustrating. Sometimes it's a good kind of frustrating, but in this experience, we're living through frustration. So just as I was saying, things are coming that are going to create the opportunity for a new strategy. They're going to upset the apple cart. You're going to have to do some things during this Mercury retrograde to take a next step and be clear about what you want to say and what you want to do. In the way that Mercury would want to work, not the way Mercury is going to try and work during the retrograde. So it's gonna feel like you're working against whatever it is that you would normally work with. Like the flow is gonna be, what's the phrase I want to use? It's like going upstream. You're fighting an uphill battle. What are all of these metaphors I want to use? Fighting an uphill battle, you're swimming upstream, all those things that feel like frustration to us. That's what your mindfulness exercise is today. So why is it frustrating? Is it because you did all you could do and it didn't work out, but what you did was the right thing to do? Or is it because you didn't do all the things you could have done in order to make sure you had all your T's crossed and your I's dotted and it didn't work out, in which case you learned a lesson either way, right? You did everything right, and whatever the other circumstances were working against you and there was nothing you could have done. Or you didn't do enough and the circumstances were working against you and the shit hit the fan and you need to do better next time. Either way, you're learning a lesson and you can be mindful about your approach, especially when you're in a state of frustration, when you're working against the grain. There's another one. Against the grain, upstream, whatever the third one was I said. All right. So I hope this is helpful, everybody. It's gonna be a bit of a challenging day, but I think you can get through it. The other thing I would share with you is if you haven't gone over to my playlists on YouTube and checked out the reading for your star sign, sun sign, for the full moon. The full moon is coming up on Thanksgiving during this Mercury retrograde, and holidays can always be a little bit triggering. So not only will we be a little bit off because of retrograde, who knows what our family garbage is going to bring up for us on Thanksgiving, especially if you're in the US. So check out that video, see how you can be prepared for what's about to come. I hope this is helpful for your day, and if you're interested in having readings with me, you can always find out more about how to do that over at Comingouttarot.com/shop. Everybody, I hope you have a great Tuesday. You're welcome, Elizabeth. Thanks for being here, and I'll see y'all later. Thank you.